All right, let's get started. First, I want to thank, first of all, I see we have a lot of our Florida agents on here today. Of course, we have Farah uh, from our Wellington office. Prayers go out to all of our Florida team members today with all of the storms and flooding and hurricanes. Wishing you guys all the best. And I appreciate that you guys, many of you showed up for today's meeting. So means a lot to us. If we can do anything from New England, please don't hesitate to reach out. And of course, stay safe. With that, let's get started on our October 2024 sales meeting today. I always like to say October is the most wonderful time of the year. For me, it's like the best holiday of all the holidays falls in October. So I am working on a really cool costume contest for our agents for the month of October to celebrate the most wonderful time of the year. So we'll send that out in the next day or so. But let's get started. I know there's lots of stuff you guys are excited to hear about within the company. As always, knowledge is not power, execution is power. Knowledge is just potential. We want you guys to get the most out of today's meeting by writing down a couple things that you're going to go execute on and using those little steps, those little incremental steps to change your business and your life. First, we want to say thank you and welcome to our newest team members who've joined since the last meeting. So welcome to Jennifer, Madison, Dee, Ashley, Amelia, Alex, Olga, and Rachel. Super excited to have you guys all with us at LAER. Also wanted to say congratulations to all of our team members. We hit in September our $1 billion sales mark for the year. By the way, last September we hit it as well. So it tells you right off the bat that we're kind of staying on pace with our year-over-year numbers, but we're very excited. It's always a huge milestone. I think it's an even bigger milestone for small independent brokerages like us. This means that we're competing with some of the biggest brands in the industry, brands that have thousands and thousands of real estate agents and offices. Our tiny little brand with 800 or so real estate agents operating in 5 states has closed over 2,000 sales. We've done over 500 rentals so far this year and over $1 billion in sales volume. So congratulations on all of your hard work in what I would argue is one of the most challenging years we've had in a decade. So congratulations, you guys deserve a huge pat on the back for all of the hard work that you guys have put into making this year a great year. Let's take a look specifically at our September numbers, and then we're going to dig into comparing year over year where we stand. So September 2024 sales numbers, we did 285 closings total plus 37 rentals. That comes out to a total of $142 million in sales volume. We'll break that down by where the offices are located, not necessarily where the real estate sales were located, but where the offices were located that did that business. So our Massachusetts offices did 207 sales at 113 million. New Hampshire did 26 sales at 11.5 million. Our Maine offices did 26 sales at 8.1 million. And our Florida offices did 26 sales at 9.1 million. I thought that was super interesting, by the way. 26 sales, 26 sales, 26 sales for New Hampshire offices, Maine offices, Florida offices. So impressive numbers for September. Let's take a look at our top 5 agents and teams. First, we're going to take a look at Massachusetts top 5 teams by volume. And we have O'Connell and Company, followed by Silver Key Homes, Page and Company, Vision Realty Group, and the Tebow team. Next, we have top 5 individuals by volume. Individual production goes to Jim Calway, Derek Amato, Leanne Trohan, Matt Winterly, and Paul Brulette. Congratulations. Massachusetts top 5 teams by units. O'Connell and Company, Silver Key Homes, Page and Company, Vision Realty Group, and Tebow team. And individuals, top 5 by units. Jim Calway, Leanne Trohan, Kristen Dodge, Brenda Albert, and Corey Gracie. Let's take a look at our Maine top agents. Top 5 agents by volume for Maine. Congratulations goes out to Kimberly Granholm, Chris Valley, Julie Peacock, John Bluen, and Julian Harwood. And the numbers come out exactly the same for units for Maine. Again, Kimberly Granholm, Chris Valley, Julie Peacock, John Bluen, Julian Harwood. Let's take a look at our New Hampshire numbers. Top 5 for New Hampshire's. We have top 5 were Fulford Group, Sarah Tollefson, Platinum Realty Group, Casey Leach, and Janice Blydenberg. And I forget which is which. I think the first one was volume, second one was units. Fulford Group, Platinum Realty, Sarah Tollefson, Casey Leach, Janice Blydenberg. Congratulations. We're then going to dig into our top 10 Florida agents and teams by volume for September. Congratulations goes to Kathy Duncan, Giswaldo team, Matt McLaughlin, Jessica Smith, Harriet Offerman, the Show Me Florida team, Lindsay Scott, Christina Bear, Tanya McClendon, and Roberto Ferrer. And top 10 for September by unit sold. Giswaldo team, Matt McLaughlin, the Show Me Florida team, the Batro team, Kathy Duncan, Jessica Smith, Harriet Offerman, Lindsay Scott, Christina Bear, and Tanya McClendon. So congratulations to all of our top performing agents for September. We also put out a company-wide top 25 list. So an email will go out to everybody in the company today with our top agent rankings for the month of September. In that email, we also include some great social media pieces. So if you're listed as a top 25 agent company-wide, or if you're listed on any of our top agent lists by state, make sure that you share that on your social media. So congratulations to all of our high-performing real estate agents for the month of September. Next up, let's compare September to September from last year's numbers. I'm very excited to report that our numbers are significantly higher September this year from September last year. And it's very interesting to me because it seems indicative of the energy that I feel in real estate ever since August 17th passed. I felt like there was this collective, like we let our breath out, like the forms have changed and now we could just move on with our businesses. And I think that there was a lot of worry and just not being sure. Will we still have an industry? Will people be willing to pay buyer agents? Will sellers be willing to pay buyer agents? There was so much uncertainty coming up to the August 17th deadline. And I feel like once we were past that and it became clear, I could tell you just looking at preliminary numbers, in my opinion, listing agents are getting paid more now on average than they were before. And then buyer agents are getting paid what they were getting paid before, because in most instances, we're seeing that the sellers are still paying the buyer agent. So I believe that's indicative as to why the numbers have gone up significantly in September as compared to September of last year. I do like to always preface the fact that our company is growing. So while our numbers are up, in general, in the industry, most real estate brokerages, the numbers are very stagnant or down this year. One of the reasons that our numbers continue to go up is because we are continuously growing. Just throughout the summer, we added offices in Maine, plus several real estate agents in all of our territories. And we will continue to do that as we move forward. But year over year, our volume is up by 2% year over year. Our units are down by 4%. So year to date, we've closed 2,040 transactions at $1.045 billion. Last year at this time, we had closed 2,132 closings, and these are sales only, not rentals, at 1.034 billion. So exciting stuff. I think there's so much opportunity out there in the marketplace for our agents, and we're only going to continue to grow moving forward. So one of the things I wanted to just talk about a little bit in today's meeting, because there's so many training opportunities coming up throughout the end of the year. So wanted to put it out there only because I noticed, and just talking to real estate agents, many of you guys know we are now offering the Finish Strong program for agents. And basically we hired Michael Mayer, who wrote the book, The 7 Levels of Communication, to do a 6-month coaching program with our agents every Friday at 10:30. And roughly about 10% of our agent base participates in that program each week. And so I had asked some of our agents that are not participating, who are also agents that are struggling in their business, why they're not participating. Why not go out and learn new information for your business? And I had a conversation with one real estate agent who said, I feel like I already know everything I need to know. I don't need to participate in new business or new training programs. They felt like it wasn't going to increase the results that they would have in their business. So I started working on a list for this agent on all of the reasons why they should consider diving into a training program. And it doesn't have to be the Finish Strong program. It could be any training program or event, because I'm going to give you a list of some of the ones that are coming up in some of our marketplaces that many of you might want to think about attending. So I wrote this list, and the 20 reasons why it might be beneficial to think about investing in yourself through the form of training events or conferences, etc. So here are the 20 reasons. Number 1, the person who you want to become is different than the person you are now. So if you have aspirations to do more than what you are doing now in your business, in other words, you're not super happy with what the current results that you're obtaining are, then the only way to change the results is to change who you are. Now, that's not to say fundamentally who you are as a human being, but you have to become a different version of yourself if you want to change the results that you are having. So maybe you aren't the person who regularly attends a training program at your board of realtors, for example, or at LAER. Maybe you're not the person that typically does that, but you are the person who would like to have different results for your business. Well, maybe the first step to becoming a different version of yourself is to do something that you wouldn't normally do, which is just dip your toe in the water. Get out and try a training program. Number 2, how you do business today is different than how you did business 5 years ago, which is different than how you will do business 5 years from now. In other words, our industry is changing rapidly. It is changing. I've now been in the business for 25 years, and the business over the last few years, it's changing ever so quickly that you have to participate in training programs, in my opinion, to stay current on all of the industry changes taking place. Number 3, your micro market is a small piece of a macro market. It is easier to identify and adapt to trends when you see them before they arrive. The reason I put this on here is because I want to make a plug for agents to attend the National Association of Realtors convention in Boston this year. So, because the National Association of Realtors annual convention is in Boston, that means roughly 75%, maybe 80% of our company, you don't even need to buy a plane ticket or a hotel room to invest in this amazing event. And what you'll learn there, you're going to learn from people all over the world and all over the country. And just think about the fact that your market, your little marketplace is just a small piece of a bigger marketplace. It was interesting talking just for a minute with Farah before we got on the call about the changes in insurance, for example, in the Florida market because of climate and other reasons as well. But that's just happening in Florida right now. That's an indicator of what's about to happen everywhere. So your little marketplace that you do business in is just part of something bigger. And by getting out there, being around agents from all around the country, you could see what's headed your way for your business. Number 4, you protect yourself by attending training events. The laws are rapidly changing. You can learn best practices. I always tell agents we do a lot of transactions each year. And in general, we get anywhere between 5 and 10 lawsuits a year within our brokerage. And these are always a buyer or seller. Typically, 99% of the time, it's a buyer or seller that is suing over something that they weren't happy with. Maybe it was a disclosure that should have been made. It could be, maybe it's the fact that they waived a home inspection and then the property needed a lot more work than they thought it did. The only way to protect yourself is to get out there and learn the laws, learn the best practices for protecting yourself. I will tell you, we're working on recording some videos because in every single market we do business in, new forms have come out in the last 45 days. So every state, so Massachusetts came out with a new form that informs a buyer. So let's say you're a listing agent and a buyer comes through and they're gonna work with you, although they are going to be unrepresented. They came out with a unrepresented buyer form, so that you can have an extra level of protection, letting the buyer know, like, hey, I want to like put a neon light on this that you are not represented. I'll still do all the paperwork, but you are not represented. And it explains exactly what your duties are for an unrepresented buyer. Florida came out with new forms as well. One was a condo association rider. I forget what the other one was. Florida has 2 or 3 new forms. I loved specifically the condo association, a condo rider. So if you're working with buyers and sellers who sell condos, there's a million little nuances. So the form explains all of the things the buyer should be considering when purchasing a condo. We're working at recording some videos on which forms are mandatory and which ones you should consider utilizing. New Hampshire came out with a new rule regarding showing a consumer, when you list a property, showing the consumer exactly where the property is in a flood zone. Maine came out with new wetlands protection rules built into their disclosures. So that is a sign that our industry is taking extra steps to protect real estate agents and consumers. We need to be taking extra steps to protect ourselves as real estate agents and the brokerage and our clients. Number 5, AI is making it easier for other agents to connect and communicate with your customer. So you think it's hard to like stay in touch with everybody now? Well, AI is making it super easy for all of your competitors to stay in touch with and communicate with your buyers and sellers, which means you have to change the way you're doing business to stay in front of your own sphere of influence. Uh, Number 6, embracing technology is not optional. I heard an agent say recently, I can't do technology. I have news for you. I think that a big percentage of our business is technology. Of course, we also must develop rapport and have negotiating skills and be generous and practice gratitude and things like that. But also a big part of your job is embracing technology. And if you simply cannot embrace technology, it's not optional. Like you have to embrace it somehow. Either you have to learn it or you have to hire somebody and pay them to learn it for you and execute for you. 7, you elevate your net worth by elevating your network. So get out there, go to an event, surround yourself with high performing real estate agents. And by doing so, you're going to elevate your own net worth. You're going to learn industry secrets and how are other real estate agents marketing or negotiating or using technology. Number 8, time spent expanding your knowledge offers a higher return on investment than time spent doing something else. The only reason I say that is because oftentimes we say, I can't do that training program because I have X. I have to do this. Oftentimes that X, that other thing that you were going to do, instead of going and expanding your knowledge, that other thing you were going to go do has a very low return on investment. Whereas getting out and expanding your knowledge, super high return on the investment of time and money. One small change in your business compounds over time, forever changing the trajectory of your business and life. So when you make a small tweak to your business, it may seem like it's tiny, but it has a compound effect. When you do that small change and you incorporate it as part of your regular business practice, that change compounds because it shifts everything else in your business, ends up changing a little bit. And so over time, it has a massive difference in the amount of business you do and how you do your business. Number 10, confidence is the foundation of your business. Confidence grows exponentially as knowledge expands. And this is something to think about. The agent that I had been speaking to who said that she doesn't do training programs because she's been in the business for 20 years and knows everything there is to know about selling real estate. I could tell you, I can tell by her vibration and energy. And I said this to her, by the way, your confidence is off. And she's like, oh, it definitely is off because the forms have changed and the way things done have changed. And I'm like, that's the precise reason why to go and surround yourself and get into a training program, because it's the fastest way to reboost, repump your confidence back up. 11, your success is your responsibility, and it has a cascade of second and third order effects on your life. So your success is your fault. Your failure is your fault, but also your success is your fault. In other words, it's your responsibility. And everything you do for your business ends up having a second order effect on your personal life. And anything you do that enhances your personal life has effects on the people around you. It affects your family members and the people you spend time with. So your success is your responsibility because people depend on you. Not only do you depend on you, but you have other people that depend on you. Number 12, the people at the event are looking to solve the same problem as you. What if they have already found the solution? So when you attend an event, I promise you, and I said this to the agent I was speaking to, I said, I promise you a big portion of a room when you attend a training event. The best example is the Finish Strong program with Michael Mayer. I've had the opportunity to attend almost every single Monday at 10:30. I've missed one because I had an appointment, but I've attended them all. And I see who attends. It's the agents that already have successful businesses are attending. It's agents who have been in the business for 20 plus years. Of course, there are agents that are newer that are participating in it, and I'm so happy for that. But also, it's agents that have been in the business for 20 or 30 years saying, hey, I need to be reminded of stuff. So just remember that the people who are attending the event are often just like you. They have also been in the business for a really long time, and they're looking to solve the same problem as you, and they might have come up with the solution before you. So wouldn't you like to get a shortcut? Learning is a high vibration energy. I say this all the time. We are energy. We transmit energy. And learning is a high vibration energy. So when you are in the process of learning, you are transmitting good and positive energy out into the world and receiving it from the other people who are attending the class with you. Next one, substance has a longer trajectory than ego. It's very interesting. One thing that I'm super proud of with our real estate agents is I think that when it comes to how you guys build your business, you guys are 100% all about substance. You provide substance to your buyers, you provide substance to your sellers. And the reason I separate it is I see that there are two different ways of building a business in real estate. One is through substance and one is through ego. And what I mean by that, and you guys have all seen it in our industry, in every marketplace, there are these agents, and you're like, how do they get any work done? They're on social media 7 hours a day, taking pictures of themselves, doing all kinds of stuff. How do they even sell real estate? And I think that by going out and spending time on social media and using ego to build your business, I think it's one way in which you can get business, but I don't think it has longevity. You have to keep that up. Substance has a longevity. When you provide substance to your buyers and sellers, when you provide real content, when you are giving them like the best negotiating skills, when you provide substance, you are going to be in the business for the long haul. You do not. Some of our very best agents have zero social media presence and they still make $500,000 a year. And I'm super proud of that. That I know when I see that, that agent is providing a massive amount of substance to the buyers and sellers they work with. And that's the kind of agents we attract here. That's who you guys are. Get out to a training program because that's where you keep collecting the substance that you can bring back to your buyers and sellers. Number 15, credibility expands in the eyes of the consumer. Why do people talk about the fact that they have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree? Why do real estate agents put designations at the end of their name? It's because when somebody is educated, the consumer has a perception of credibility. So when you go out and attend a training event or attend the NAR convention, you are expanding your credibility in the eye of the consumer. Number 16, your comfort zone is your largest business expense. Just something to think about, because one of the reasons why agents say, I'm not going to go to the NAR convention, I'm not going to go to this training program, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to go take a class on Canva because I don't understand Canva. That is a very expensive mindset. You have no idea how much. Unfortunately, if you print out your profit and loss for your business, you can't even see it. You can't even see how expensive it is. But your comfort zone is by far your largest business expense. Get out there and attend a board event. Learn something from someone else, even if it makes you highly uncomfortable. I promise you, I tell people I have always not like to be around crowds. I always had a fear of networking. Now I'm fairly comfortable networking with people because I forced myself to do it for years and years and years, to the point that it becomes pretty comfortable. I don't mind going into a room where I don't know people, but force yourself out of your comfort zone. And if the only reason why you do it is because you understand how expensive it is to live inside that comfort. Number 17, by going out to an event or a training program, you get to observe how others manage change and worry, and you can manifest your own change, like how you manage change and how you manage worry. You can manifest energy into resilience and opportunity. So awesome opportunity to take that negative, low vibration energy of worry and manifest it into super positive, high vibration energy for your business. Number 18, get out and embrace a new business niche. The market is definitely off. The market is down for everybody. So if your business is down a little bit, join the club. It's down for everybody. There's different ways that you can go out and keep building more of the business you already have, but also you could think about embracing a new business niche. Maybe you start delving into commercial real estate, or maybe you go get your green designation and say, you know what, it's high time I learn this and incorporate a green designation and sustainability into my business model. There's many different ways to embrace new and different business niches for your business. Number 19, action is a higher vibration energy than an excuse. So when you think about all of the reasons why you can't attend an event, that's low vibration energy. Actually getting out and doing the event, saying yes to showing up at a training class, showing up at a networking event, that's a high vibration energy, and you're going to attract only good things because you get what you put out. So the law of energy says you will attract whatever you are putting out. And so by getting out and taking action and attending a class, you are going to start attracting other high vibration energy, which includes new business. And then number 20, no regrets. You never want to look back in your career 10 years from now and say, I wonder what it would have looked like if I had simply done a little bit more to grow my business. If I had simply attended maybe a class every quarter to learn something new, what would my business have looked like? So with that, I wanted to remind everyone that the National Association of Realtors convention is November 8th through 10th, and it is in Boston. Again, 80% of you do not need a hotel room. 80% of you do not have to buy a plane ticket. By the way, I would say the same, even if you had to buy a plane ticket and even if you had to get a hotel room, it's worth it. I've been to many realtor conventions and I always walk away inspired. I will always learn new information. Because it's in our own backyard this year, I did send out an email to everybody today with a form to fill out, that just a quick, your name and email address. If you are attending the National Association of Realtors convention, because I want to put you on an email string so we don't have to email all 800 agents. We'll email the 60 or 70 who are going to attend the NAR event. That's my hope, 60 or 70 that we can get to attend. That's not even 10% of our company. But we're doing some really cool stuff. We're going to have some meetups. I'm hoping we get a nice group of agents from like Maine, New Hampshire, Florida, and Mass, so you can all come together and meet one another, potentially refer business over time. So I'm going to be scheduling at least one meetup for LAER agents. Secondly, we have a booth at this year's conference. So we're going to send out a sign up form if you want to, no obligation, but this is an awesome opportunity to network with real estate agents from around the globe. So if you're interested in hosting our booth for a couple hours on one of the days, it's a great way to meet real estate agents. And plus we ordered some really cool shirts so that we will be highly noticeable amongst our peers, and you guys will easily be able to spot other LAER agents within the conference halls, etc. So I hope to see many of you at the National Association of Realtors conference, and that's coming up in less than 30 or about 30 days from now. So get that booked. Also, wanted to remind our Mass agents, Tom Ferry is coming to town October 15th. Just a reminder, they're still offering a 25% discount to go to that. It's at the Hilton Boston Woburn. And that's a full day event with lunch. It's $269. Also, I'm going to show you guys a video on this in a minute, but we're still doing our Finish Strong program. And yes, you can jump in, and we're starting a whole new segment on event mastery right now. So you can join us every Monday morning at 10:30 at laerzoom.com and participate with national speaker and coach Michael Mayer, who wrote the 7 Levels of Communication. We will be sending out in Mass. We're also working on a 2-day ABR accredited buyer rep class. I believe it's going to be October 21st and October 22nd at the Courtyard in Littleton. I also just want to put a plug out there that in addition to all the stuff that I just spoke about, your local board of realtors, they constantly put out great events, and that's all of the boards. Go attend, check out your local board, your state board, attend some of those events, get out there, expand your knowledge, and build your business. And with that, we have Craig with us today. Let's do a sustainability update with Craig.
Thanks, Stacy. I can't even tell you how appropriate what you just said is. It's exactly what you just said has been going through my mind, right? Realtors knowing everything that they need to know, and how that gets in their way. You know, I agree 100%. So we've got a bunch of training opportunities that are coming up. Sergio is going to throw them in the link. This one is a panel discussion that I'm on with the president and co-founder of Pearl, but you, Stacy, did a interview with Sandra Adamanis, the leading green appraiser probably in the world, the current president of the Appraisal Institute, wrote the Bible on green valuation, residential green valuation tools. So that's free, no cost, quick little event, hour long, available for all of our agents. As you mentioned, a lot of cool stuff happened, Stacy, at the local board, and GBAR is doing, I don't know, our 3rd or 4th annual sustainability symposium. That's on October 23rd at BU. $25, Stacy, includes lunch. And at the end of it, I'll be teaching the Smart Growth, Smart Energy continuing ed class. So there's 2 hours of continuing ed there as well. You and I, Stacy, just want to make sure that this is on your calendar. Remember, Green Designation now is offering free training. And we're doing the first one, Stacy, you and I, on October 24th at 11 o'clock. I think anybody can sign up for this. It doesn't even need to be green designated agents. But this is our green knowledge exchange that we're starting to, you know, as you mentioned, the business is changing so rapidly, and in particular in this high performance space, this is the fastest changing part of the industry. So we're looking to make sure that realtors across the country are up to date. And I'm really excited, Stacy, you and I are going to be able to present on the buyer presentation deck for climate savvy agents, right? It's a whole new way to engage buyer agency and to show your worth. I think there's a lot of value in this program. You mentioned NAR Next. One of the things I'm going to be doing there is on November 6th, we're doing a green building tour. I'm one of the tour guides for this, along with John Delzell, who's the City of Boston Sustainability Manager through BPDA. So if you're available from 1 to 5 on Wednesday the 6th, and there are still tickets left, I have no idea if there are or there are not, but that's another thing to sign up for. But Stace, what you said about training opportunities and where people are. I just did a green designation down on the Cape, last week. And we had 25 members of Cape Cod and the Islands Association of Realtors there. Fantastic conversation. There was one LAER agent there. Interestingly enough, it was Julie Oakes. She already has her green designation. She showed up again because the content's so valuable for her and her business to be there. I was disappointed, I have to say, that there was only one LAER agent there. Yesterday, I taught Green Day 1 for the Raleigh, North Carolina Association of Realtors via Zoom. Cheap tickets for both of these because NAR is so heavily subsidizing these. Any one of our members could have jumped on the Zoom, yesterday and next Tuesday. No LAER agents. I have to say, I'm bummed out about that, to be quite honest. I think I need a personal meeting with you so you can reset my head on this stuff, okay? Because I really am seriously getting bummed. I mean, I get calls on average 2 times a week, Stace, from our agents saying, "Oh my God, my buyer's buying a home with solar PV. What do I do? I'm listing a home with solar PV. What do I do?" We go through the whole thing. I say, make sure you take the green designation class the next time it's offered. And they're like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do that 100%. Nobody. So
100.
I need some kind of an attitude adjustment from you, Stace, on this stuff, because I
Well, hopefully
kind
the
of feel like I'm being
today,
taken
because
advantage of a little bit,
yes, I
Um,
hope the presentation today will stick with some agents and say, because I agree with you, Craig. And not only that, with the climate change issues that are all over the world, like it's everywhere. So this week it's Florida dealing with it. I promise you in December and January, we're going to be buried in snow here. So
well,
there's,
look, I was teaching at Raleigh yesterday. They're dealing
yes,
with Asheville. It was a hot button item. I mean, they're worried
yes.
about insurance costs going up for them, right? I mean, it's all over the place, 100%.
So huge opportunity for agents to dig in. And I hope that the presentation today helps people just think a little bit different instead of saying like, oh, I already know everything there is to know. I promise you, you don't know all there is to know about your business. And this is a huge opportunity to dig in. And it doesn't have to be us. It doesn't have to be our training. That's why I say the board trainings everywhere. We're on like, I think we're in 12 or 13 different boards. So I get bombarded with emails and it's all training. Every single board is offering training on the new forms that are coming out for the state or all kinds of stuff from marketing to negotiating. So I hope everybody really starts to dig in, especially this time of year. And I think a great place to start is the National Association of Realtors Convention.
I agree. Just one last thing quickly. So I'm teaching for Selling the Sun for Texas realtors this afternoon, right, via Zoom. They're anticipating 200 to 300 realtors showing up. This is from the slide deck for Selling the Sun, right? About realtor competence under Article 11 for selling homes with specific types of assets like solar PV, right? I really feel, Stacy, that I don't know, I'm at a point where we need to call out agents that are listing homes with solar PV that aren't trained in this part of the market because they're leaving sellers money on the table because they don't understand the valuation process.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry. I'm bummed out, but I just had to be straight up honest with you. And when you brought this up today as the kind of central theme for this, it just fits so perfectly into exactly where my head is right now. So I'll shut up now and let you go back.
All right, let's see. We got some other good stuff I want to share with you guys. Let's see. So, couple office changes. We are moving our Northborough and Worcester offices to a new location at 293 West Main Street in Northborough. Our new blue and gold signature building. We have we're working on a couple other things, including a lion weather vane for this office. So super excited. That's going to be in mid-October. We're just waiting for internet. We're also opening an office in Attleboro at 40 Park Place in Attleboro. That's going to be for end of month. The reason I want to bring that up is because Julie Oakes brought up a great point. Our lease ended in our Franklin office. So right now our Franklin agents are homeless and we are looking for space. The goal is to move back into the Franklin market as soon as space becomes available. But what I want to let our Franklin agents know is that if you're planning a pie event, I don't think we're going to be in a space by November for Franklin. If you're planning like a pie event for Thanksgiving pies, which we'll be sending out information on that this week, then probably the new Attleboro office will be the place that you would host that because we will be opening that at the beginning of November. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because you guys are already familiar with the Finish Strong. I did put an awesome video inside our Facebook group, which featured testimonials from all of our agents.
Thank you, Michael Mayer.
I'm not going to share them all only because we're running out of time, but I wanted you guys to see that it's all high performing real estate agents taking the Michael Mayer program. And they make comments like this. I'm the busiest I've been in 15 years. Like that's the kind of testimonials that you'll see there. Next up, we have Farah, who is faring the weather. And did I hear that there was a tornado warning and you're still doing our update for us?
Yeah, I feel like it's just par for the course living in Florida. You just kind of go with the flow and you keep on trucking. Floridians are very, very weather conscious, but they keep going with their day no matter what. So good morning, everybody. Happy October. Happy Wednesday. We have some great announcements for you this month that we'd love to share with you. Can I do the sides or no? Oh, sorry, Stacy, you gotta do the sides. Thanks so much. First, our big first announcement that we want to share with you is that our new World Title office in Wellington, specifically that office, is now going to be coast to coast closing. Now, coast to coast closing is going to be our title partner in all states, which is very awesome. It's now going to be available in Florida. Something very important to think about here is that although we are now going to be with coast to coast, the same faces are going to be there. It's still going to be Alma Rosario and Jasmine De Leon working on the title side of things for us. So that's going to be awesome. We're just changing the name, but there's going to be some great things that come along with that you will hear coming up. Just another note I want to point out here is that all new transactions will close under coast to coast. So if you're working with Alma and you're working with Jasmine on any upcoming transactions, they will be closed under coast to coast closings. Very, very cool. We have our new printed calendar for the month of October 2024 here. And you can pick this up at any LAER location here in Florida. We got some really great classes coming up this month that we're going to talk about. It's going to be an awesome month, just like every other month. And we'll get into that now. But before we jump into that, I did want to go over some closures. Obviously, we are all very aware that Hurricane Milton will be hitting land later this evening. For those of you who don't know, the LAER offices in South Florida happen to be on the East Coast. We are very blessed that we are not currently in line with this hurricane. We're outside of the quote unquote cone of uncertainty. However, we will be having some really bad weather coming up with our heavy duty tropical storm because of Hurricane Milton. With that, we do have some unfortunate closings. Port St. Lucie was closed yesterday, and West Palm, as well as Delray and Wellington are also closed. Oh, we're going a little fast, sorry. Take a moment, and when you get a chance, even if you're not in Florida, take a moment to join the Florida Regional Facebook group as well. Just so you know about that last slide, we are closed at the West Palm and Delray office tomorrow. We were supposed to have our birthday luncheon. However, regrettably, because we are closed, we will not be having that. Take a moment to use the QR code in front of you to join our regional Facebook group. You'll get a lot of information, even if you're not in Florida regularly. If you come down here at all, take a moment to join. Next up, we have one of our new super fun, crazy classes coming up in October, which will be available to join via laerzoom.com. This is Canva Unleashed. This is a follow-up to Sergio's Canva 101. This is if you want to take your Canva knowledge up a little further. We'll be talking about digital art, how to create your own, and just get a better understanding of what you're looking for when you're creating it, as well as some of Canva's more elevated technology that you can use if you're comfortable with it. But this is going to be a great class. Definitely join in. Next, we have calendar mastery, and I wrote down one of your 20 reasons. Number 16 really struck a chord with me. What was it? I wrote it down. It was your comfort zone is your largest business expense. Super really aligned with this. We will be doing calendar mastery, and it's not just about calendar functionality. It is about becoming the master of your time and getting ahead of scheduling your day-to-day for success, as well as some functionality within Google Calendar to help you do that. Very good class, very aligned with what Stacy was talking about. We are doing this month's main event with the amazing Ashley Willette, PA. She is awesome. She is a broker associate out of the Wellington office, and she has been doing real estate for the last 28 years. She's going to share some really great things with us. One of my favorite things about Ashley is she's very intentional about her real estate business and how she operates it. Again, this is going to be available laerzoom.com, 30 minutes out of your day to hear from another realtor just like you, and maybe you will learn something. Again, very aligned with what Stacy was sharing. And oh, go ahead, jump on in. No. And as we shared before, we do now have CTC, which is coast to coast closings in all of our markets. Now we are in New England and Florida. Alma Rosario is representing CTC here out of the Wellington office as well. And we also have Nicole on the call, which is awesome.
And we have David behind me.
So Nicole and David, any other exciting updates? I don't think you can trump the Florida exciting update, but what do you got?
We are so super excited to have Florida join. We have had plenty of meetings. We are going to be awesome in all states. Thank you, Farah, for announcing that. But David and I were just talking as usual, whether you have a deal with us or not, give us a call. Our phone numbers. Alma is great in Florida. Jasmine is great. Farah is amazing. We know that. And then we have David and I up in New England. So, but if you guys have any questions, we're in Mass, Maine, Florida, New Hampshire. Okay.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
One of the cool things that we do for our at Coast to Coast is we have these cool locals guides. So now our Florida agents can participate in this cool program. Basically, if you go to ctcclosings.com/a locals guide, our marketing team at CTC Closings can create like a little 2-page booklet for you. So let's just say you have an open house coming up in Wellington and you want a neat little guide that you could give out at your open house. You can have our Coast to Coast team create this guide for you. One of the things I want to note about it is you just want to give it a couple days so that it usually takes about 2 to 3 days for their marketing team to get it done. When you land on the page, there's a place where you can select which title partner you want to include, and we're adding Alma to that today. So it'll be co-branded between you and your CTC closing rep, including we're going to add Alma to that for our Florida agents today. With that, make sure that you guys subscribe to our YouTube station at youtube.com/LAER training so that you never miss one of our awesome training programs. As always, you can visit any of our LAER Realty offices at laerrealty.com/office access. There's a form you can fill out as a LAER agent there to get access after hours to any location in case you want to meet a customer or do a closing, etc. And with that, as always, if you need anything at all, the best way to reach out to our staff is at happyagent@laerrealty.com. And with that, I want to wish everybody a very special and spooky Halloween. I want to send prayers to all of our Florida agents we're going to wish them a nice, simple storm, no hurricane. No tropical storm. It's going to be a nice, simple storm, no flooding. So we're sending all our prayers to our Florida team. And with that, we will see everybody.
Stacey, can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yes.
Another very, very important month close to my heart. Everybody out there, go get a mammogram. It is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I challenge you, all you women and men, to go get your mammograms.
All right, awesome stuff. We will see everybody on November 13th. Thanks, everyone.